How was Black Panther introduced into the universe? Why did the Fantastic Four, of course, wasn't everyone? Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I take trade paperbacks and single issues that I break them down into digestible points to help you understand. Then I read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Today we're going to be covering Black Panther's first appearance. This is before any mention of an origin, and like many superheroes of the time, the Fantastic Four were used to introduce him to the universe. Our story begins with the Fantastic Four flying in their aircraft given to them as a gift from the African chieftain named Black Panther. They may keep the aircraft so long as the Fantastic Four agree to be his guests in the Kingdom of Wakanda and take part in one of the greatest hunts of all time. Even though the flight made Ben a little airsick, Reed Richards agrees to take Black Panther up on his offer to visit the Kingdom of Wakanda. The messenger tells him that this is great news. He will give word right away using a small device that uses cosmic channel waves. Over in Wakanda, Black Panther receives the news that his guests agreed to come. So now it is time for Wakanda to make their preparations. Black Panther tells his totem to rise, let the ritual begin. It is time for Black Panther to stalk once more. Before him, a rather large panther totem begins to rise up from the hidden silo beneath him. As the totem stands, it reveals a hidden computer within it, and Black Panther takes out his stalking costume to begin setting up for one of the greatest hunts there has ever been. After making a quick stop by the college to pick up Johnny Storm, and at his request his roommate Wyatt Wingfoot, the Fantastic Four along with Wyatt head over to the jungles of Africa. From the surface it looks to be a normal jungle, but as the Wakandan messenger flies lower under the brush, they begin to fly into another type of jungle, a mechanical jungle hidden within the forest. Ben notices the messenger suddenly take off in an escape hatch and he chases after him. But as Ben rips the floor apart, he is shocked by an electrical trap. The shock weakened Ben and he tells everyone, "This thing made me weaker than Yancey Streeter." As Johnny goes to help Ben, Black Panther appears telling him, "You're wasting your time. Nothing can help any of you now." He then jumps in, kicking Ben and Johnny away, telling everyone that it was he who invited them for the hunt. But he didn't tell them that it was they that were going to be hunted. Reed, Sue, and Wyatt all begin to charge into attack, but Johnny tells them to step aside. It's a job for the Human Torch. Johnny begins to give chase, but Black Panther easily jumps around avoiding him, and he predicted that Johnny would follow him, and he set up a trap. Johnny flies right into it. The chamber that Johnny has flown into has vacuum blasts putting out his flames, and once that's done, the chamber lowers itself into the ground. Black Panther goes back to check on the rest of the Fantastic Four, and he sees that they're trying to come up with a plan. But before long, Ben begins ripping machines out of the ground and hitting things. Wyatt tells him to hang on. He might destroy something that will trigger another booby trap. Reed says, "He's right. We need to learn what we're up against first, Ben." Wyatt says, "That's a job for me. The blood of my ancestors were the greatest scouts of all time. I'll find out what's going on," and he leaves. The rest of the Fantastic Four begin to hear drums, and then more Wakandan soldiers appear with guns firing lasers at them. Ben laughs, asking, "What are they gonna do with flashlight beams?" But Reed tells him, "They're not flashlights. They're magnetic anti-polarity beams. It makes objects repel." Soon the three of them are pushed away from each other, and Reed tells them, "They're trying to separate us and attack individually." As Sue lands, Black Panther begins to follow, but even though she's invisible, he can still pick up on her scent, which is right next to him. She tries to put up her barrier, but Black Panther quickly leaps away, actually containing him with her. And once they're inside of the chamber together, he releases a sleeping gas to knock her out. Black Panther then sneaks up on Ben, who's washing his face trying to collect himself in the last trap, but Black Panther jumps out telling him, "How did you like the devitalizing fluid you just washed yourself in?" Ben tries to pick himself up to fight, but as he swings and misses, another trap goes off, freezing him. Outside, Wyatt sneaks up and finds the command post that the Wakandans have been using to keep watch of the Fantastic Four, and he quickly knocks the men out and destroys the command post. With only Reed left, Black Panther confronts him, and to gain the upper hand, he turns out the lights and then he attacks Reed in the dark. Reed tries to feel out and grab a hold of Black Panther, but when he extends, Black Panther turns the lights back on, and Reed sees that his arms are in a special titanium cuff. Black Panther tells him, "The hunt is over," and then a voice tells him, "Not yet," and Johnny flies through, destroying the cuffs holding Reed. Black Panther asks him, "How? How did you escape my trap?" Wyatt steps in telling him, "You may have prepared everything to stop the Fantastic Four, but you didn't take into account another factor, a man with no powers." After finally admitting defeat, Reed says that it's time for him to give them answers now. Black Panther begins to take his mask off, stating that he wears the mask not to hide himself, but as a symbol of Panther power. With the hunt over, he will tell them what they want to know, why he did this. He tells them that, as they can see, he is the hereditary chieftain of the Wakandans, and perhaps the richest man in the world. But it is not always so. His tale is one of tragedy and deadly revenge. And if you want to know that story, we've already covered Black Panther's origins. This is his first appearance, in which he defeats the Fantastic Four. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and don't forget to join us on this channel by subscribing if you want to know more comic lore, history, and information. And you can follow me on Twitter and ask me any question you want at Comicstorian. If I have an answer, I'll give you one.